Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an exciting month it is for all of us. Lots is changing, lots is shifting, and all kinds of new opportunities and stabilizing forces are entering the picture. So everybody should be experiencing change, and this certainly includes you. Now, part of that change is going to be of the romantic stripe, and I'll talk about that more in the love-focused horoscope in light of Venus going direct this month. So again, I'll talk about that in the love-focused horoscope. For this general overview, the main areas of focus that I'm seeing of importance to you have to do with the eclipses. So it's eclipse season, and eclipse season tends to be a time when the universe works into overtime to get you into alignment with a higher vision of your life and a kinder fate for your life. So as far off as you've gotten from that path is how dramatically the universe needs to bring you back. But actually, given that these are such positive eclipses taking place, I don't think that it's going to necessarily be so shocking, but rather the changes that come about, regardless of how surprising or how much it seems they're coming out of nowhere, ultimately will be very pleasing. And this is particularly true for you. We have got, in the middle of the month, a new moon eclipse taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money. So late last month, a financial focus began for you, and it is emphasized now this month, particularly in the middle with this eclipse. Now, this has to do with other people's money. This is grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns. This has to do with inheritances, any benefits you might qualify for, and so on, commission payments. And this particular eclipse is speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. And Pluto is a planet of wealth. And Pluto right now moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with karma. Karma you've accumulated. So whether it's karmic blessings or karmic releases, that's what is indicated. And especially the planet of wealth moving through this part of the sky. Well, look, you put this together, supremely harmonious conversation. And I gotta say, money is coming to you, without a doubt. This looks like you will be richer. You've got to work with this energy. It is an eclipse, so you might not even have to work that hard. The money may just seem to come out of nowhere. However, this would be the time, and I would advise you, and I would say even right out of the gate this month, and especially considering in the middle of last month, Jupiter went into this same part of the sky. So you're working with this really positive energy going forward for the coming year. And this eclipse is only going to magnify that energy so much more and kick it into high gear. So apply, apply, apply. Anything you think you might even vaguely qualify for. Make sure you're putting out those applications for scholarships, for grants, for bursaries. If you want a loan or a mortgage, all of that, very blessed for you right about now. Lots of cosmic support to experience really great things happening for you in regards to attracting money, attracting financing, and whether it's a private finance or whether it's a government thing, whether it's an organizational thing, just be open. Really, that is it. And trust yourself to be led to the resources that you need. Reach out to others where appropriate. And at the very least, I mean, this is going to be a gift that shows up for you. So whether it's a gift from an organization or a scholarship, or whether it's somebody that you know who ends up blessing your life, you will be richer. I'm putting it out there. I'm stating it as clear as possible. This is pretty clear to me that money is coming. So that should be really nice. And this particular energy has other implications as well. Of course, there's a whole part of this energy that has to do with psychological regeneration, which is really nice as well. So there's an element of you really understanding what needs to change and what needs to change profoundly. That's understanding your own energy, how your energy is creating your reality. And this particular eclipse is really great for practicing the law of attraction. So if that's something, whether you're into it or not, if you can, as the month begins, start to learn a little bit of some of the basic principles, and right around this eclipse, really give them an honest try. You might find the universe just rewarding you very, very quickly with some really positive results. Now, I do want to be clear about something. With the law of attraction, I actually think that a couple of things. With the law of attraction, one is self-knowledge must be a part of the process. And I think that's the missing piece, because ultimately it's not just about getting what you want. It's about learning about yourself and your own energy and why your energy is the way it is and what you need to do to evolve and what does that even mean for you. So it's this whole process that is part of the law of attraction that I think sometimes people miss. But the other part of this also is that there are times when the universe rewards you very quickly for how you align your energy. And then there are times when the universe says, you have no control. You've got to surrender. You've got to trust. You've just got to allow yourself to sail on the waves, knowing that you are going to be okay on the other side and you are going to be better for what is so challenging. So if you're going through a really tough Saturn transit, a really tough Pluto transit, I would be a little bit cautious, right? Because in those cases, you're missing the larger spiritual lesson. And ultimately, the spiritual lesson, the sacred learning, ultimately really comes down to self-knowledge and being well used in this lifetime. That's what I think that it's really about. So when you see these moments when the universe is saying you can actually align your energy and manifest what you want, this is the time to utilize that as best you can to your advantage. Okay, now we go forward, and we've got this lunar eclipse happening at the end of the month. And this lunar eclipse is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with media, that has to do with communication, right? In exchanging information. It has to do with the online world to a certain extent, things like social media. And this part of the sky also has to do with things like siblings and cousins and neighbors as well. So this particular lunar eclipse, now a lunar eclipse brings endings, brings closures, is speaking with Saturn. And Saturn right now will newly be back into a part of the sky that ultimately is your house in the sky, a very social area of your chart, speaking in supreme harmony. So I look at this and it suggests to me a few different things. This could be attracting some really great media attention that really helps you to excel your reputation as an expert in whatever you do. This could also be just getting really great news around a sibling. If a sibling or cousin or neighbor has been going through a time that hasn't been so easy for them, this is when things really resolve for them really nicely. And it actually ends up influencing you, where you feel like, okay, some closure has happened there, and you feel like they're okay now, so you can pay more attention to your own stuff. And then there's another element to this as well that has to do with, because of the closure element, if you've had a neighbor that hasn't been so easy to deal with, this is going to allow that space to be created, whether their circumstances change, whether they move, or whether they just end up taking on a whole other approach to their lives. They become less of a problem. So that's good to know as well. The other part of this energy does have to do with sort of very immediate types of skill building, learning, communication, social media. So wherever it is that you are trying to create greater stability for yourself, and wherever it is that you are trying to help yourself to create a greater sense of structure in your life, whether it's through advancement, whether it's through being better at what you do, whether it's through promoting your business even as well. This is going to be lots of cosmic support and cosmic opportunities to make that happen. Any kind of networking events come up, please go. It'll be to your advantage. Networking events, or if it has to do with, I think about these events that tend to be a little bit informal, where you're meeting people who are in your industry. And I also think about like little workshops that you might be able to take, or going to a book signing or something along those lines. It's those types of environments, those one-day workshops, those weekend workshops, maybe even a short distance away, that ultimately will help you as part of the picture of building greater success for your life. And a part of that is going to be an element of closure. And so keep that in mind. This particular energy isn't so much about the new opportunity. It's more about recognizing what has served its purpose, and now you're ready to move on to a higher level of success than you have known before. So utilize this energy very well, and you'll find yourself making advancements through understanding ultimately what you have evolved beyond. What I love about this month for you is that, yeah, there's wealth, and yeah, there's riches, but there's also a sense of life being a rich space, and life being a space where you are growing and greater opportunities are certain to find you, and understanding how every stage of life has its purpose and has its place and is part of your growing understanding of who you are and how it is that you end up creating abundance for yourself, emotionally and otherwise. And with that clearer sense of perspective and bringing forward your best futuristic self, that clearer sense of direction, you will start to see that much more clearly how it is that life is working very much with you to bring about your very best.